Hello, before we start the video, could you please subscribe to my channel? Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips as red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. Her kind and gentle nature made everyone adore her, except for her stepmother, the queen. The queen was jealous of Snow White's beauty and consulted her magical mirror daily, asking, "Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." However, one day the mirror responded, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Consumed by jealousy, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. As proof, she demanded Snow White's heart. The kind huntsman could not bring himself to harm Snow White and instead told her to run away and never return. Snow White fled deep into the forest, where she stumbled upon a tiny cottage. Tired and frightened, she entered and found that everything inside was small and in disarray. She tidied up and fell asleep across several small beds. The cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs who mined for gems in the mountains. When they returned home that evening, they were surprised to find their house clean and a beautiful girl sleeping in their beds. Snow White awoke and explained her story to the dwarfs, who took pity on her and invited her to stay with them. Meanwhile, the queen discovered Snow White was still alive when her mirror once again proclaimed Snow White as the fairest. Enraged, she disguised herself as an old peddler woman and concocted a poisonous apple. She ventured into the forest, found Snow White, and convinced her to take a bite. The moment Snow White bit into the apple, she fell into a deep, death-like sleep. The dwarfs were heartbroken and placed her in a glass coffin in the forest, where they kept watch over her. Years passed until one day, a prince riding through the forest saw the beautiful Snow White in her glass coffin. Captivated by her beauty, he kissed her, breaking the spell and waking her from her slumber. Snow White and the prince fell in love and returned to his kingdom to be married. The wicked queen, upon learning of Snow White's revival and marriage, was so consumed with rage that she died of her own fury. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, with the 7 dwarfs as their cherished friends. And so, the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs ends, reminding us that true beauty comes from within and that kindness and love will always triumph over jealousy and evil.